You know, your franchise has hit a new high when the least dangerous part of the movie is Tom Cruise clinging to the outside of a plane mid-takeoff. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation injects spy noir into the series, bringing in shadowy conspiracies, double crosses, and an assassin with a flute case of bullets. Is this mission a flawless hit, or like the title, does the plot go rogue? Andy.
Nation. What?
We're all part of the Rogue Nation.
Part of the Rogue Nation.
All right, Andy, this one is the after the IMF is disbanded by the CIA. They just cut it off altogether. Ethan Hunt goes rogue to prove the existence of the mysterious anti-IMF organization known as the Syndicate. With the help of loyal allies and a duplicitous British agent named Ilsa Faust, Ethan travels the globe to uncover the Syndicate's true leader and stop a series of deadly attacks, all while being hunted by his own government.
Why, Gary? I know you don't have the answer.
But 9.
When they always seem to pull off the mission,
even though it's impossible.
You've given them something that is just, it's not physically possible to achieve the goal I've given you, and then they do it. And they go, "Well, we got to disband it. We cannot keep this up."
Okay. Do you recall, like in one of the earlier episodes, I mentioned I wanted to come back to the whole impossible mission force thing. This is what I wanted to say. I wanted to say it's amazing to me that they get so upset. We are closing down this whole thing because you guys cannot pull off these things without going rogue. You keep going off script to get these things done, and yeah, you get them done, but we don't trust you anymore because you're not doing them the way you're supposed to.
Because you're getting them done.
But they're getting them done, and they're called them impossible missions. So it's like, are you kidding me? They're still getting them done. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Well, we got to defund it. Like, I can't have this. This is not on my watch, sir.
We need to doge the mission, the IMF agency.
That's impossible mission. Not Mission Impossible 9 is Doge.
Yeah.
It's all over at that point. I just kept saying that, like, why are they so like hell bent on this? Like, who?
Yeah.
Like they're doing what you say they can't be done. Like, just
right.
How about just like, hey, good job, guys.
And yeah, they tear up some shit, but they get it done.
That happens. Who cares?
So
Rotten Tomatoes, Gary.
Yeah, what we got? What we got on that one?
This is coming in hot at a tasty 94 with the critics and 87 with the popcorn eaters. So this one is directed by is Christopher McQuarrie? Is that his name?
Yep.
You got stats on this guy? This guy
I gotta say I do not. I'll look him up real quick. I gotta say though, I mean, he does take over from here on out. To this point, he has directed every film.
I think he does a great job. So
the dude does awesome work.
I don't know what else he's done. I didn't look him up, but I just was like, I ran a note like these films are good.
Well, so you've got writing and directing. So in this case, I mean, we can look at the fact that he is the writer of this film and director.
Okay.
Some other films that you may know that he was part of, Top Gun Maverick screenplay.
Great.
He wrote The Mummy.
Huh.
So you got a lot of Tom Cruise in here. Edge of Tomorrow. Jack Reacher. Him and Tom Cruise look like they've spent quite a bit of time together. He wrote The Usual Suspects.
Oh man.
Now directing.
Listen, just for The Usual Suspects alone, I'm in with this guy.
Yeah. Director. For directing, you've got a movie called The Way of the Gun. I'm unfamiliar with that one off the top of my head. Jack Reacher.
Turd.
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Fallout, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and The Final Reckoning. So,
spoiler.
So yeah, he's the director on all of this. So yeah, I mean, he went from writer to writer-director, you know.
Well,
got quite a good movie, quite a lot of good movies under his belt for writing, for sure.
Absolutely.
And all of his directing, I mean, I can't speak for The Way of the Gun, but the rest of them, I mean, in these movies are great. So
what's the synopsis here again of the Rogue Nation?
So this is the one where you've got they're trying to prove the existence of the Syndicate. So you've got Alec Baldwin is the CIA director.
Which again, hold on. Why is it so unbelievable that there would be such a thing called the Syndicate? You know,
And by the way, that is pulled from the TV series.
but I mean, they're like, it's there's no way this exists.
Yeah.
Why would it not exist? It's a great name for an underground.
That's true, but I think part of the plot of the whole thing, and this kind of goes, this is one of those things that carries over into other movies. They're suspicious that Tom Cruise is, or Ethan Hunt, I should say, they're suspicious that he's actually behind all of that stuff. They call into question a lot of his decisions and things that he's done to make it seem like, oh, you've created this to be our enemy just so you could do all these different things as the enemy. So this is where I'm pretty sure this is the one where that kind of really kicks in with the whole.
It just gets a little paranoid. Like, you know that I know that I know that you know that I know
It does.
It's like, oh, okay.
It does. It doesn't really sink in completely, I think, until the next one is where this is the beginnings of that part of the plot, the serial part of the plot. You've got probably one of the least frightening villains in Solomon Lane. It's played by Sean Harrison. This Weasley looking dude that just isn't really very doesn't really strike fear in the heart of many people, but I guess it's your actions, not the way you look.
I got it. Now I'm thinking about this, Gary. No. This is off script here. So their theory.
Did we script this?
Well, I mean, I'm not even looking at my notes at this point because I'm not thinking. As you said something, I was like, wait a minute. So the deep long play on this is that Tom Cruise or Ethan Hunt is secretly behind the Syndicate. For what gain? To put himself in danger?
The idea is
he's not getting like a great payoff. It's like I always get killed every freaking time I do a mission that you say cannot be done.
Well, but here's the thing.
And you're saying I'm behind it.
No, I get what you're saying, but you have to think of it from the point of view of the people that are saying this. The point of view of the people that are saying this are people that don't have any proof that any of this happened. They only have to go by the agents that are telling them in the reports.
But they don't have proof that the missions happened? The previous missions?
They don't have proof that like
that the Kremlin got blown up and that
the Kremlin did get blown up. So there's proof of that. But
that's what I'm saying. Like
there's no proof that he didn't do it.
But again, what's in it for him?
Well, that's the thing. So they say that the part of the Syndicate,
I get the shit kicked out of me.
The whole point of it, but he does it. That's the part that they don't know. That's my point. They are only told what the agents tell them, right? That's all they actually see. So they think this is all put on for show so that he can continue to get money from the government to fund all this stuff that they're doing on the other side, if he was running the Syndicate.
I mean, I like where you're going, but if he was running the Syndicate, just do something illegal and sell something for $1 billion and walk away and then go live on a boat somewhere in Seattle, Puget Sound.
Well, I agree. I'm not gonna argue this point.
I'm not saying you have to defend it.
I'm only saying that I think the point is the Solomon, not the Solomon Lane. What's the other character that he? And I don't think it's in this movie.
Bryson Thruster.
It's Lake. I think Lake. Yeah. Something Lake.
Or Lark.
Lark. That's it. Lark. He's supposed to be this just I don't care about anybody kind of person. He just wants to cause chaos and throughout the world. So if that's somebody's goal, the money part isn't really that big of a deal. It's the causing chaos. It's the how do I do to make these things happen. They think that's what he is doing for the other side. That's what they're suggesting anyway. Now there's a lot of double crossing and stuff that goes on through these movies that somebody in another film is pitted against him. I don't want to spoil anything. That is trying to make the case for that and throws a wrench into it. Anyway, this gets convoluted. Okay, I get it.
I'm completely lost.
But it's what. Well, we can talk. I know Kevin hates this. We can talk off screen about that to make that part clear. But before we get too far off script, as you say, Rebecca Ferguson is introduced in this as Ilsa Faust. She's been in quite a few things that I really like.
By the way, super original name, Faust.
Yeah. Jeremy Renner is in this one. Ving Rhames, Alec Baldwin. I already mentioned that. There is the main heist in this one is the underwater server heist in Morocco, where Ethan has to swap a security key for turbine protected vault.
That was so. I tried to hold my breath.
Oh yeah, forget that.
I would have died.
Let's talk about that. Okay, so the room is submerged. There's no oxygen, and it features a rotating mechanism that swings around.
By the way, what is the best way to secure super sensitive electronics? Above water or underwater?
I look. I don't have an answer for that. If this is their idea of water cooling, like there's computers, like I think mine has a water cooling thing in there.
So you just dip your thing in a cooler, right? It's full of ice water.
But it's in a tube. Like it does. Oh. So I don't know what I don't have an answer for that. And damn it, Andy, don't make me feel like I gotta defend all this stuff. So the stunts in this one starts off.
The opening scene.
Opening scene starts off
just insane.
Tom Cruise clinging to the side.
First of all, go with the Simon Pegg popping his head up like a meerkat.
Benji, open the door! Yeah, okay. Benji, open that door right now! Yeah, I'm trying.
Where are you?
Yeah, and I like the fact that Tom Cruise isn't even part of that at the beginning. It's just Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg talking, and then a mission person talking or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, here comes Tom Cruise running in. He's got to get his run in for the first.
Dude, but that was intense scene for me. I was like, wow, this is great. And then he did that. He really was on the outside of that plane.
He hung for that for 8 actual takeoffs, secured with a harness and contact lenses to protect his eyes.
That's crazy.
And that's why it is so believable looking. And that's why,
no green screen there. That was him with cable. And again, we talked about this off screen, Kevin, but we're going to talk about it here. I love the slight comic relief when they're like, open the door.
Yeah.
And Peg opens the bay door and he's like,
wrong door. And he's reading in like Russian or something, trying to figure out which door is which or whatever.
It's silly, it's simple, but I enjoy that quite a bit because he plays it so well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cruise did the underwater scenes all in one breath.
Unbelievable. I remember hearing him training for this.
Yeah. He trained to be able to hold his breath for how long was it?
Well, they said he had 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I believe it was.
Yeah, but it's longer than that. He holds his breath long. He trained himself to hold his breath longer than that.
I feel like it's upwards of like, I want to say 7 minutes, but I think that might be.
It could be.
But I remember him reading. I remember reading about him trying that. And like I said, I tried to hold my breath when he went down. I was like,
minutes, all right, over 6 minutes.
I'm in. I made it about less than 40 seconds. I think I was like, I'm out. I'd have done. I'm dead.
In my current state, I was just like, I'm not even gonna try.
Why would I even jumped in? I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it.
Not that important.
Whatever it is.
He again performed his own motorcycle stunts, which in this film there's some crazy action stunts on the bikes. The opera sequence was inspired by Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much. It's filmed at the Vienna State Opera. That was an interesting sequence as well because you've got multiple assassins involved, and Tom Cruise trying to take out one. Simon Pegg's actually involved trying to take out another. you got a lot of different sequence playing out there. It was very, very cool and funny too. There was actually a couple funny moments in it.
Yeah.
And then again, the Syndicate was actually is canon. It was actually from the original TV series, which was a recurring enemy in the series.
Nice.
I did not know. I did not recall that. This sets up the next movie pretty well. You've got Rebecca Ferguson's character, Ilsa Faust, is one of those ones that you're just never too sure of whose side she's on and what's going on. And Tara kept asking me throughout the film, well, now is she good or bad? Because I don't understand what's going on. Like, she just did that. Was questionable what she just did.
I don't either.
Look, I was like, look, I haven't seen this for a while, and let's just pretend I haven't seen it at all. Because I don't want to answer questions.
Yeah, I just say we all did it.
Can we just watch it?
Yeah.
So, and again, her take on this whole series was basically the first one was good, not great. Second one was awful. She said it was shit. Actually, that was her words. The second one was shit. And then she really I was kind of surprised because I thought when it came to seeing the one in the theater, I thought she's going to be like, nah, because it's like almost 3 hours long. And she was like,
really?
Yeah. And she's like, when are we going? Let's go see it. I was like, all right, let's do it. So
3 hours. Like, is there an intermission so I could take a nap?
All right, well, that's it. For this one, I think another great movie in the franchise.
Yeah, this one really, they just keep getting gooder, as the kids say.
Right. Some kids. Then they go to school and they learn that's not.
The ones that went to Amelia would say gooder.
Thanks, everybody. Comment below and let us know what you thought of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I had to check to make sure which one we're in.
5.
5. Yes. Thanks.
Bye.
Day and Gary are coming to you with a new movie they like to review. Whether they liked it or you will soon see by their rating amounts of poo or TP. They rate things different than other shows. The higher the amount, the more it blows. Flick flops are unfiltered reviews of all of the movies we chose to view. We love some and other we've simply hated. You can find out by how much we rate it.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.